in a beautiful African village called Ruku, deep in the heart of Kenya's savannah. Surrounded by rolling hills and big beautiful trees, lived a young boy called Kabaru. From a young age, Kabaru's vibrant spirit and kind heart endeared him to everyone in the village. Kabaru's favorite after-school activity was herding his grandfather's cattle with his friends, brothers, and uncle. He loved the open grasslands, the fresh air, and the sense of responsibility that came with herding his grandfather's cattle. In the evenings, especially during weekends and holidays, Kabaru would eagerly join the village traditional games as well as football with his friends, their laughter filling the air as they enjoyed every piece of it. One weekend, while herding cattle with his uncle and brothers near the village shops, Kabaru accidentally stepped on hot ash fresh from the village tiny restaurant. The ash was carelessly disposed of by the restaurant owner. The pain on Kabaru's feet was intense. He knew he was in deep trouble. He yelled in pain till the whole village heard his cry. His uncle rushed to his help and grabbed him from the pile of hot ash. He carried him on his back to the village. Some of Kabaru's friends and brothers had rushed ahead of his uncle to report the matter to his mother and father. On hearing the unfortunate event, his mother and many villagers rushed through the village to meet him. Kabaru's parents and village elders decided to take him to the city hospital for treatment due to severity of the burns. Despite his pain, Kabaru was excited to board the big bus that plied to the city. It was like a dream come true. It was his first time on the big bus that visited the village once a week. The journey to the city mesmerized the young boy. He was a deep admirer of Walter, the bus driver. Walter allowed Kabaru and his father to sit near him. Kabaru watched the driver's every move in awe, almost forgetting his pain. Walter the driver was an inspiration to many boys Kabaru's age. Kabaru wished he would one day drive a bus like Walter. At the hospital, doctors quickly attended to Kabaru's injury. Soon, he was back in the village, nursing his wounded feet. His friends missed Kabaru's fun-filled companionship on their journeys to the village school, village church, and while herding cattle. Villagers frequently visited to wish him a quick recovery, showing the strong sense of community and the love they had for the young boy Kabaru. Kabaru's grandfather, proud of his grandson's resilience, was full of encouraging words. This encouragement helped Kabaru during his recovery. Kabaru always looked forward to his regular trips to the city hospital for checkups. These journeys became special occasions, as Walter the bus driver had become his friend, always granting Kabaru a seat next to him. Kabaru relished these opportunities to observe Walter's skillful driving. It was also an opportunity to learn about the world beyond his village. These experiences, though born from an unfortunate accident, opened up a new world for Kabaru. The city broadened his horizons and sparked dreams of future adventures. He would narrate to his village friends and brothers how big the city was with tall buildings. They had heard of these stories as narrated by Walter the bus driver. But collaborating the story with Kabaru, their friend and brother and fellow villager, was all the more interesting. The village friends, most of whom had never stepped out the village, would sit around Kabaru and listen in awe at his adventures to the city hospital. They would sometimes struggle to understand how a building could be taller than the village church, especially when Kabaru told them the buildings were taller than the big tall tree at the center of the village. Years later, Kabaru became a father to a beautiful family and successful businessman in the city, and also owned a bus. One day, as he sat with his children, he rolled up his trouser and showed them the faint scars all over his feet. "These marks," he said, running his finger over the healed skin, remind me of the wonderful times I had growing up in our village. They tell a story of kindness, friendship, family, and community and God's love towards me," remarked Kabaru with nostalgia as he narrated to them the painful experience back in the village that left a permanent mark on his feet. Kabaru's eyes twinkled as he recounted the kind and bravery act of his uncle who carried him to safety that fateful day. "Your uncle is a kind man and Jesus used him to save my life," he told his wide-eyed children. "Your grandparents are amazingly kind people, as I have always told you," remarked Kabaru as he narrated to them how his parents took care of him. "My village friends who visited me throughout my recovery. May God bless them for their kindness." But it was when Kabaru spoke of Walter, the bus driver, that his voice filled with particular warmth. "And you know what? That bus driver, he inspired me more than he ever knew. Watching him drive the big bus with skill and dedication was amazing. I always remember his kind gesture of allowing me to sit next to him and observe him. This made me popular among my village friends, as not many had the chance to sit next to the driver, let alone board the big bus to the city. I would imitate how he switched between gears and navigated the bus from the village to the city to the delight of my village friends. We all thought Walter the bus driver had the dream job. My father, on noticing the deep admiration I held for Walter the bus driver, told me to work hard in school and one day I would do greater things than Walter." Kabaru looked at his children with a smile. "So you see, sometimes even difficult situations can lead us to amazing experiences. God turned my pain into opportunity to interact with Walter the driver and visit the city. This showed me there was a big world out there, full of possibilities, if only I worked hard. The kindness I received from my uncle, brothers, parents and village friends, Walter the bus driver, reminds me to be kind to those around you. God will always use other people to repay back your kindness." If this story has inspired you, please hit the like and subscribe button to encourage this content. Thank you for watching and watch out for our next storyline.